to be tagged on X when that happens. Greetings, everybody. I can't imagine we have anybody watching right away because we didn't announce this in advance. That would have been weird. Somebody was waiting, but I see us as well. So, yep, cool. There we are. And yeah, we're almost ready to get rocking and rolling here. You ready to get rocking and rolling, Shannon?
I am ready, man.
Okay. Well, here we go.
Let's do it.
Okay. Business Brain, episode 520 for Wednesday, January 31st, 2024. Greetings, folks, and welcome to Business Brain, the show where we take an idea or three, we dissect it, we analyze it, we tweak it, we use it to tune our business brains collectively every single time we get together. Sponsors for this episode include Squared Away at gosquaredaway.com/contact, where you can find out how to employ highly educated military spouses as your remote executive assistants. And also gusto.com/businessbrain to get 3 months of payroll, benefits admin, and more totally free. We'll talk more in depth about those in a little bit. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, as usual, I'm Dave Hamilton.
And out in Lafayette, California, I'm Shannon Jean. Dave, I'm excited we have a guest today, getting back into they're not really interviews. They're more just like business talks, discussions, right? On a casual basis.
We're tuning our business brains, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm really happy to welcome Bodie Gallo. I met Bodie on the X platform, Twitter. His account is I Rent Dumpsters.
Oh.
But what really got me motivated to reach out and ask Bodie to come on the show is there's a lot more to this guy than his Twitter handle would describe. So Bodie, thanks for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Yeah,
it's cool. So I've been following your content for a while. I really like it. You're describing what's going on with this dumpster rental business, and I love the early morning post. Dropped off 7 dumpsters. Already booked $6,300 today. I love that real time building motivation. But what pushed me over the top was you also own a digital marketing business, and if I'm describing that right, and so walk me through what your business is and how these two companies interact with each other, or how they started.
Okay, I'll tell you guys from the start of everything. I was in college, like 18 years old. I made a finance blog called financialfreedom101.blog. Our slogan was to inform the young investor the importance on investing in your future, investing in stocks, mutual funds, anything like that. I made a post
the normal stuff that college kids are doing.
Stuff. Yeah, because I'm wired differently.
No, it's great. Yeah.
I made a post about credit cards, the best credit cards for young college adults, college students. Without knowing I was writing out an SEO formatted blog post, I was getting a ton of referrals on there.
Nice.
On my credit cards. I was like making $50 a week just from referrals. I was like, what the hell is this? Like, what am I doing here? I got an internship that summer with a company called Active International for learning SEO. When I worked for Active International, they're a pretty big media brand around the country. They work with companies like Firehouse Subs and Kroger. So I was working under Firehouse Subs and Kroger, learning local SEO, how to place commercials, just Google ads, stuff like that. I did that for 2 summers. The following summer, I worked for Benjamin Moore & Co., the paint company.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
When I worked for Benjamin Moore, I was in their corporate office in Montvale, New Jersey. And I was actually working under one of the marketing managers of 10 of their stores in New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut. I was about to graduate college. I was going to work for a company called Financial Times, the blogging company. But my uncle came to me and was like, this dumpster rental business is for sale. You should definitely look into buying it. Me and my cousin were on the same college lacrosse team. We played Division II lacrosse together. And we would be on the field at 6 o'clock in the morning watching trucks go by. And we were like, damn, we could be out there making money, but we're running miles right now for no reason. So it was like April of my senior year, had a job lined up, and they kept coming to me with business ideas. They knew I was business minded. They knew about my marketing background. So they came to me, they said a landscaping company. I was like, no, thank you. A pool company, no, thank you. But they said dumpster rental company. And I was like, I got to take advantage of it. So we bought one dumpster and 20 trucks from this guy who was like 65 years old. He had no website, no Facebook, no Google My Business profile, absolutely nothing. And I was able to build all that up on the back end like a month before we bought the business.
Oh,
And then we bought the business in May. Once we bought the business in May, we were off running. We had to add 10 dumpsters to the fleet immediately. So we went from 20 to 30.
okay.
within,
So you
like,
bought
3
you
months.
said you bought one one dumpster and 10 trucks.
No,
you
one
bought 10
Oh, sorry,
dumpsters.
yeah. I bought one truck and 20 dumpsters.
One truck and 20 dumpsters.
from
Okay,
it-
yeah, that's what I figured you meant.
From
Yeah,
this
yeah,
guy who
Yeah.
was selling his business. The New York waste management market's a little hard to get into. So we had So we had an
I used to live in the
opportunity.
town where the Galanti family was, so
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
very aware of
You know
this.
you know about the trashers.
I know about the Danbury. I used to go to Trashers games.
That's
I lived
awesome.
there while that was happening. Yeah, it's fascinating.
That's amazing. Yeah, so it's tough to get in. We had this big opportunity. We were like, we have to take this chance. We bought into the business, and then now we have 2 trucks and 50 dumpsters, and I'm dominating the whole market for just local search.
And so basically somebody calls you and says, hey, we're doing a project or whatever. Consumers or businesses, you drop a dumpster, they keep it for a certain period of time, and then you guys come get it? Is that how it works?
Exactly. I keep it as simple as possible. We're more for the homeowner. I only have I only have 10, 15, and 20-yard dumpsters. I don't have the 30-yard dumpsters because my target market is homeowners and small-time contractors. Those are my bread and butter people. They're easy to handle, easy to deal with.
Better margins, maybe.
Way better margins.
Yeah.
And there's a company called Been There, Dump That. They're like the 1-800-GOT-JUNK of the dumpster rental space. And I base my business around them. I don't really do junk removal jobs anymore unless it's like a big time job.
Sure.
But otherwise, like I just stick to dumpster rentals. That's my bread and butter. It's a volume game. And if I'm able to get the volume, then the profits are huge.
Yeah. That's so cool. Okay, so that's the dumpster business, and then the digital marketing aspect of it, and like these maps I was just talking about you before we went live. Talk to me about that. Walk us through how that works and how you interact with both of them.
So after I was able to hire my second driver, I was just doing office work on the back end, and I was so bored, and I was like, I need something to do with my life. Like, I just wasn't fulfilled at all. I started doing marketing. Someone was opening up like a cannabis dispensary in my county, and they were like, I'm looking for a marketer. Can anyone do this? I was like, sure, I'll take this on. And then it ended up he really couldn't pay me the right amount of money. And I was like, I got to do this myself. Like, I can help other service-based businesses. I got to do this myself. So I started Striker Digital with my partner, Andy. We met in a stock group chat like 7 years ago. He's an HTML coder and I'm a just local SEO guy. We were like, we could just collab on this for sure and grow it. And what we do is we help service-based businesses increase their Google rankings.
Nice.
Fascinating.
So yep, that's us. That's Andy.
That's killer.
And
For those of you who aren't watching the video, we're showing the website, but you can go there. We'll link it all from businessbrain.show. So, yeah.
And all our websites are custom coded. We don't really use WordPress. We're starting to use WordPress now, but all our websites are all custom coded, which makes us different than most competitors because most of the time your local service businesses do not have coded websites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's so cool. That's
makes
great.
sense.
And so, okay, and like these maps that you show up on your account, you got to go check these out after we're done here. So explain to me what that is. Let's just pretend I don't know anything about SEO, which would be the truth. So walk me through it.
So what those maps are is like when you guys are searching for, let's say, restaurants near me, or plumber near me, locksmith near me, you go into Google usually to search for something like that. And what those maps are is it shows what your keyword ranks within a specific area on Google Maps. So if you're searching something like dumpster rental near me, that map, like the circle in that map will show where you're ranking for that around your county and in your search results.
Yeah. That's
Really?
huge.
So just publishing it on X helps feed that?
Not publishing on.
No.
I just show I show my clients on X.
I got you.
I always
got
have to
you.
mute out like who their company is or whatnot, but
Of course.
I show my clients on X, and I just show like how I get other businesses ranking from my local SEO strategies.
Got it.
And a lot of my strategy has been built out from work. I work with a lot of other SEOs.
All right, folks. Ever feel like you need an extra 8 hours in your day? You know, to tackle that ever-growing inbox or plan events that seem to multiply like rabbits? Yeah, managing a business can feel like herding cats while juggling fire sticks. And let's talk about that work-life balance. It's like trying to walk a tightrope while juggling your laptop, phone, and a cup of overpriced coffee. Spoiler alert, the coffee always spills. But fear not, fellow entrepreneurs and charmed life seekers. We've got the magic wand for you, our sponsor, Squared Away. Imagine a team of super skilled, highly educated military spouses transforming into your executive assistants. It's like finding a genie in a bottle, but for your inbox and schedule. I'm all in on this concept, right? Military spouses, talk about drive and dedication. They're the unsung heroes of multitasking. Squared Away assistants are like your personal business wizards. They swoop in, manage the chaos, keep projects on track, and deal with those sneaky little tasks that eat away at your day. And they do it all while you focus on, well, being amazing. Plus, they're available across all U.S. time zones, working as W-2 employees, not contractors. Custom plans? You bet. They're tailoring superhero capes to fit your business perfectly. Are you ready to join the League of Extraordinary Entrepreneurs? Well, I highly recommend checking out Squared Away today. Unleash the power of efficiency at GoSquaredAway.com/contact. That's GoSquaredAway.com/contact. Here's to living that charmed life, folks, and our thanks to Squared Away for sponsoring this episode. All right, now, ever feel like payroll and HR are those monsters under your entrepreneurial bed? You know, the ones that go boo every time you think about W-2s, 1099s, or health benefits? Well, it's time to turn on the light and chase those monsters away with our sponsor, Gusto. Imagine a world where payroll is as easy as ordering your favorite takeout, where health benefits and 401ks fit into your budget like a dream pair of shoes on sale. Gusto is like that fairy godmother for your small business, turning pumpkins into carriages, or in our case, HR nightmares into delightful, easy-to-use software. And the best part, it's all accessible online from your cozy home office or while sipping a margarita, even on the beach. And get this, unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price, no hidden fees, no surprises. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, but for payroll. Gusto automatically handles all those tricky federal, state, and local payroll taxes. And if you've got a tough HR question, their certified experts are like your personal business Yodas. Don't just take my word for it. 3 out of 4 customers say they run payroll in 10 minutes or less. That's less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee these days. So, for all you entrepreneurs looking to live that charmed life, here's your magic spell. Business Brain listeners get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. Just visit gusto.com/businessbrain. That's gusto.com/businessbrain. Turn your payroll and HR into a fairy tale today. And our thanks to Gusto for sponsoring this episode.
Awesome.
All right. So I'm curious because, like Shannon said, we're idiots at SEO here. So, like, I would love to learn some actionable tips that we can use, and of course that our listeners can use to get our, maybe just to like incrementally help ourselves. So, like, when you come to somebody, Bodhi, where would you start?
So some basic tips I would have is to build a Google My Business profile. In that profile, you could have a products page and a services page, and only having about like 5 products. Some people think the more the better, but actually you can edit your Google My Business profile to only have 5 products within the profile itself.
Got it.
Another simple tip is to have a website, but you can't just have like a plain website like a business card. You should have a website with at least 5 regular pages, and then having service area pages on the back end. So, for example, if you're going to have a website for a dumpster rental company in New York City, you'll have a page for the Bronx borough, for Manhattan, for Queens, for Staten Island. And then on the back end of all those pages, you'll have a 10-yard dumpster rental Staten Island, 10-yard dumpster rental Manhattan, 10-yard dumpster rental the Bronx, stuff like that. So
you've got landing pages for Google to index,
yes,
for when people are searching for those specific things.
Yep.
You're not just trying to have one page serve as everything.
Yep. Your website should pretty much be like a book. And then we actually embed a Google map on the bottom of every single service page. So I'll have a single Google map for, let's say, Staten Island, the dumpster rental. You have
Sure.
a Google map that's from your Google My Business profile. You're able to take the map and embed it on the bottom of the service area page.
And
That's
this would
like
be
a little tip.
Yeah, and this like what you just shared is obviously there's some specifics for local businesses serving local areas like a dumpster rental business would.
Yes.
But the idea of having this website that reads like a book applies to everything, I would think.
Applies to everything. A lot of pages we build aren't even like our consumers couldn't even see these pages. It's more for Google to index you.
Got it.
Yeah,
Got
that's
it.
cool.
Okay. And when you built that credit card page that you sort of stumbled into this skill set that it turns out you have and all of that, what were some of the key elements of that page that really helped it and helped you learn?
So
yeah,
that's a little different than than local SEO.
Right.
That type of SEO I just stumbled upon because I was doing like some basic research on SEO, like for organic for my credit card post.
Yeah.
So I just did some linking to like other websites on that post, something like Investopedia. So just internal linking between sites.
External links, like outbound links to other sites.
Outbound links. Yep.
And that actually helped your SEO by having outbound links?
Yes. And I just discovered that, and I still get paid from that post today. And like I've downgraded my blog a lot since then.
Sure.
Like, I really don't post on it at all anymore. My last post was about like a quarterly report on my own self.
Right. Yeah, I saw that there. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have the passion like I used to for that kind of stuff. But
Oh, you're doing other things. Yeah.
I'm more about business now than like finance like that. My finances are all just on autopilot.
Yeah,
But
that's awesome.
I just came across that and I was like, wow, I gotta like do something about this. Like I enjoy writing and I enjoy marketing, so I'd rather be on the back end where like I'm not really on social media in real life. I'm not on Instagram. I'm only really on X, and I'm on Facebook from like 2009 or something.
So let's talk about being on X, because I you do put out a regular stream of content talking about your business, building in public.
Yep.
And has that been successful for you, driving your getting contacts and people reaching out to you to build one or both of their businesses?
Yes, it's really just diversified my network. Like I feel like I could go to any state in the country pretty much, and I'll know someone that does some type of service. So like I'm looking to get into like long-term rentals down in like the North or South Carolina. And me and my partner, what we want to do is I want to buy somewhere where I know I have some connection through X or my marketing business where like I know I have someone there I could trust that already trusts me, So that's something like I look forward to having just because of my network I've built on X itself.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it. I mean, I know there's some people, selling products on X or selling even like sponsorships or exposure via the followings that they've already built on X. But I think that's not a great plan for someone getting into X. I think the way to create value for yourself and others there is what you just described, that whole network. Yeah.
The network effect is insane with X. Like I can't believe the amount of people I've met through there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty
Well, here we
wild.
are, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's a great, I look at it like a flywheel for your all your ventures and things you have going on, and connecting in like a master class of who do I want to talk to about rentals in this area? Is it this guy or that guy? And you've interacted with them, like you said, you've already built some credibility, so that's really cool.
Yeah,
the best part is just like being able to talk to guys that like we're like at 24, a lot of my friends all work in corporate America. We're like, there's nothing wrong with that, but like, I don't have that many people to talk to about business, like what I'm doing day to day. So
that's why we do this
really why
show.
we started this show.
X has really opened that up for me because like I can make a phone call at any time of day now. Like I'm all in group chats on X, Slack channels, just from like I can now, because my friends are always tired of me talking business. All you do is talk about yourself, and I'm like, there's nothing else. There's nothing else I do in my life, you know. Like I love running businesses. Like that's what I'm passionate about, and that's why I always talk about it. So X has really opened up that window for me.
No, that's it. That's it. Like Shannon said, that's why we started this show. And I mean, we started this show because Shannon and I were having these kinds of conversations together frequently, because it's hard to find in your local neighborhood. It's hard to find peers that are actually peers in this way, right? You can find peers who have kids of the same age, or, you know, in other ways. But when it comes to like, what do you do for work? Well, I run businesses. Well, what's that mean? Well, let me tell you. And then you tell people about all the things you do, and they think you're crazy, or they think you're a flake, or, you know, all of those things. Or they sick of you talking about yourself. It's like, well, yeah, but you guys are talking about, you know, your pension plan and like negotiating for a new job or whatever. And it's like, I don't do that. I do different things. Yeah,
exactly. I just can't pay attention to it. It's kind of a downside of being your own business owner, but like
it is.
If there was no such thing as X, like I'd be a lonely human.
Right.
It is. And it is that entrepreneurship is, you know, it can be really lonely. And so building up that network, and we've talked about it in all different ways over time. And I just got back into X, you know, 5 or 6 months ago. And it is definitely that support group and people there that don't think every idea is crazy. Actually, it's like the opposite. Some of these guys, you got to be like, oh man, don't let me start another business today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So my partner keeps me in check. My partner, Andy, keeps me in check. He's like, don't get shiny object syndrome. Yep. Let's focus on one thing, scale it to $1 million. And then once we do that, we can look till something else.
Yeah. That's the way to do it.
And
I like that.
Because I'm a scatterbrain. I love doing a million things. So like for
Same.
me, it's very important for me to like stay on track. Because if I can stay on track and give something 100% effort, I know I'll be able to dominate at it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, Bodie, anything else you want to touch on before we jump off here?
Nothing much. Thank you for having me, guys.
Yeah, man. It's a great story. I go up on X, I rent dumpsters, and we'll link it in the show notes at businessbrain.show. And thanks
is that a good place for people to find you, Bodie? Is on X at I rent dumpsters. Okay, we'll make sure that's linked in the show notes. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out with us. Thanks for checking out our sponsors, of course, gusto.com/businessbrain, gosquaredaway.com/contact. Make sure you check out x.com/irentdumpsters. Keep living that charmed life. Thanks, Bodie, and we'll see you all on Friday.
Cool.
And it's that simple, man.
I know. I love doing podcasts. It's like my 5th one. I love it.
What microphone are you? You sound great. I'm curious what mic you're using. I can't. Hang on. Let me zoom that up. MAOUO.
MAO.
Probably Chinese.
Yeah. WA.
I got it on Amazon, but for my sales calls, it's really helped. I don't know, for some reason, once I got this, I've been closing way better.
Yeah, you sound better. You're not echoing out in the room and everything else.
No, you sound great. What did you pay for it? Just out of curiosity.
I don't even know. I think like $50. I honestly don't even know. I gotta check my Amazon. Yeah, I'll send you guys a link.
Okay, cool. Yeah, well, yeah. Cool.
Well, hey, I'll send you. We'll post this when the podcast gets pushed out to all the podcast stuff. The carriers tomorrow. I'll make sure I tag you up there. And thanks for coming in and hanging out. And if we can ever do anything to help you, man, please let us know. Or if you know of somebody you think you'd like to come on, reach out. Keep in touch.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much, guys. Have a good day.
Thanks for doing this,
buddy. See
you.
Yeah,
man.
No problem. All right, goodbye.
Later. Cool.
That was awesome.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
it's
I love that. I have no idea what we're going to talk about on Friday, on the Friday show, since we didn't cover that.
Now I'm nervous because I mentioned that I knew about the family behind the Danbury Trashers. No, you have to understand, Shannon. Do you know about this?
No, I have no idea.
Okay, there was a movie done about this. It's on Netflix. I forget what the name of it is, but if you look up Danbury Trashers, they were a minor league hockey team. Yeah.
Okay.
Created by this family that was in the trash business when we moved to this town in Connecticut where we live.
The second thing that comes up on.
And I like, and they were the nicest people. I actually did work at their house a ton for this family. They were one of the first, fairly well off, very well off.
Yep.
And they were one of the first, this is in the early 2000s, first families I'd ever seen that had like computers in each of the bedrooms and stuff, like, a separate computer in the kitchen, and had a nice home and all of this stuff, and really pleasant people. I got to meet AJ, when he was probably 15 or 16. AJ became the one who was the president of the Danbury Trashers. It was created, I think, around his 18th birthday or whatever. 2 weeks after we moved out of this, and they did wonderful things for the town. They built a new
ice rink, right?
No. They revamped the ice rink for the Trashers. But prior to that, they built a new football stadium at the high school. Neither of their kids was involved with football, but they knew, Jimmy was like, well, this is what people see when they come to our town. This is how we welcome visitors. This is kind of a dump. We need to fix it up,
Sure.
And so he did. Like, they put in a wireless scoreboard and redid the turf and the stands, and it was amazing what they did for the town. 2 weeks to the day. And our property values increased while we were there. It was amazing. 2 weeks to the day after we moved out of that town, their offices and home were raided with RICO charges. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's crazy.
Yep. I thanked my lucky stars.
Yeah.
Not that the family would have ever had a problem with me, but that if I had done work for the business, I probably would have been called. I mean, I don't, maybe right. But I just did work for the family at their home and never did anything at the business. So, thankfully I never had to get involved with any of the mess. Yeah. I felt bad for him. I know.
All right.
I mean,
what are we talking about on Friday?
I'm still processing this thing here.
I was
chit
trying to
chatting.
look at, and I don't think that's so great. I was trying to look at our show ideas.
There's some things we can talk about, a little bit of debrief from that.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That might be good. Companion businesses, things
Yeah.
I think it's
important.
I think it's great. Oh, I did this one.
But yeah, we used to go to Trashers games. In fact, I'm certain that my kids' first hockey games were Trashers games.
Trashers.
So the thing about the Trashers was they were, and I think this led partially to the aforementioned RICO charges. Their whole MO was to be the team that had the most fights.
Yeah, I read that.
And it was true. I mean, it was, and every game sold out. But it was rough. Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
they hired Gretzky's brother to play on the team. So they had a name brand, if you will. Yeah.
Don't be darned.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yes, it was smart. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's do a
I'm
debrief.
almost there.
Yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, I can talk.
We'll
obviously.
do a debrief a little bit about. I want to talk about Bodie's businesses, and then maybe we could talk about.
Yes, this is the people. A lot of people are joining right now, which is fascinating to me.
Yeah, well,
you're in the. I should have changed the
sausage
banner to be the between the shows. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Because
I
this is how the sausage is made.
A post that I'm interested. We could discuss about introducing yourself to your audience. If you're, like a new brand or a new company, how do you go about kind of not just starting, but building out your story a little bit. We've kind of touched on that. I guess we did a little bit, but why don't we just start talking and let's just talk
We're gonna
about
be fine.
Bodie, see that goes, and then we'll kind of just see where it goes.
Yep.
It'll really be Casual Friday, and we'll just
It'll be Casual Friday. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
All right, let me make sure that I got that.
Oh, I have something we can talk about too. I have another topic.
Too. Yeah.
Okay.
There's always something.
Yep. I've got a topic just popped into my head.
Let me put that there. So this is going to be for February 2nd. So I got to get the banner right. Where are we here? That's where I want that. That's where I want that. It's going to be episode 521 for Casual Friday, February 2nd. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready to rock. You ready to rock?
Do it, man. Yeah, I'm ready to.
Okay. Here we go. Business Brain, episode 521 for Casual Friday, February 2nd, 2024. Greetings, folks, and welcome back to Business Brain, or welcome to Business Brain. If this is your first time hearing us, we are the show where we take an idea or three, we dissect it, we analyze it, we use it to tune our business brains, each and every one of us, every single time we get together. Sponsors for this episode include gusto.com/businessbrain, where you go to get 3 months of payroll, benefits, admin, and more totally free. And GoSquaredAway.com/contact. This is where you can learn about Squared Away, which empowers highly educated military spouses to become your trusted remote executive assistants. They all work on U.S. hours. We'll talk more about all of this in depth in a few minutes. For now, here in Durham, New Hampshire, I'm Dave Hamilton.
I'm Shannon Jean. I'm still out here in California. We're getting ready for the big atmospheric river El Nino explosion that's supposed to start late tonight. And I find it fascinating that even the weather has like branded itself and marketing terms and all the it's crazy. But yeah, happy Friday. Glad to be here.
Branding the weather.
Yeah,
I think Bodie, our guest from Wednesday, would be really like he would be a good person to have branding the weather. He innately understands a lot of these things. Having that conversation with him on Wednesday, I hope you folks enjoyed it. And if you haven't heard it yet, go back and episode 520. And if you did hear it, let us know. Feedback at businessbrain.show. We want to know what you thought, because that's our first interview in a while.
Yeah, and I think I wanted to chat about that, our first interview and kind of break down I love his concept, he didn't, instead of going to work for some larger company, he had some internships. He's a young guy, 24. Here they stepped in and bought a dumpster, rental company, 10 dumpsters, one truck kind of thing.
20 dumpsters, one
20
truck.
dumpsters, one truck.
It took a lot to get there. Yeah.
And then built it up and this kind of thing. But along the way, he started, he'd been in digital marketing before, and he, started sharing the process up on the X platform. He may be on other platforms I'm not aware of, but I followed him on X. And then he started talking about his digital marketing. So kind of bringing that together where, look, here's my business I'm running, and my other company that I'm using to grow that business, you can also hire, use our services. And it's just so complementary. I read another, post to a guy that I follow the other day, talked about being in the roofing business. He's a flipper, buying, fixing up houses and flipping them. But having a roofing business has helped his flipping business tremendously, because he's like, a couple times, he's like, just in the last 2 weeks, we've gone out, the roof isn't even worth fixing, and we wound up buying the house. And so it's kind of similar to Bodie's, this I Rent Dumpsters and then Stryker Digital. So he's able to drive all this business to the rental, dumpster business, and then sell the services that you're doing to grow it, you sell it to everybody else. So I really respect that flywheel concept that we were kind of talking about in between shows.
No, I thought it was fascinating. I mean, even just his comment about, oh yeah, I put these outbound links in, and it's like, oh, I never thought about outbound links as good for SEO. I'm terrible at SEO, so that's,
me too.
Yeah.
And the one thing that he talked about that is just critically important is if you're not really in control of, especially if you're in the service business, but really any business, your Google My Business page is just the gateway for you. How people are searching, because they're searching for things like dumpster rental near me, or deck contractor near me, or phone repair near me, or whatever. And Google is using all that data in your Google My Business to route that. They want the most relevant information to come up for their users. And all those reviews that you've got and pages and products that you've described in Google My Business, that just has to be a focus for you to be successful, I think.
I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's Yeah. Have you used this for like the businesses you have? Do you use Google My Business Pages?
Oh, yeah. And it's gotten better and better. It used to be really like for a long time before phone systems got kind of cloud-based, they would have to call you to confirm your phone number. But if you had like a big PBX system, well, you didn't necessarily answer the phone, right? It just it kind of got routed. So we would have to plug a regular phone in, do it really quick, and then plug the phone system back in. But yeah, it's one of the keys to the kingdom. It's, I think, the best place to send people to leave reviews for you. I think it's a great way. We used to give bonuses based on every 5-star review that a technician got.
Yep.
So if you got a 5-star review that mentioned your name, you got a $50 bonus.
Yeah. I've encountered businesses like that. Yeah.
It's huge because it just continues to drive, and all that SEO stuff that you're directly in control of on your website and building out these pages, these near, with geographical URLs, very important.
Yeah.
But getting all that good content up on your Google My Business page is crucial. And I'm shocked some places you still search it. Google will have it up, but they're like, claim this listing.
Yeah.
Is this you? So there's a lot of people there, and that's a big opportunity as well. Like Bodie talked about, he bought this business from an older gentleman, 65-year-old. I think the guy's probably still running things on a fax machine or, his
Oh
cell
yeah.
phone,
Well,
right?
I think we talked about it on the show. I was like halfway down the path of looking at this dumpster rental business, 6 months ago or something. Yeah, right here. Yeah.
That. And a guy saying, I don't have anybody to take it over. I don't.
Correct.
My kids don't want it. I got to find somebody. I'm tired of it. That is, the silver tsunami.
Yeah.
That you hear about a lot of older business owners that, maybe their business isn't, quote, good enough to find a broker or whatever.
Yeah. No, this wouldn't have ever gone through a broker. It would have. No. It would have been $500,000. Like,
yes.
I think would have taken the whole thing from him.
Yeah. And you probably could have made that back in the first, 2 years or 18 months.
The biggest problem was he wouldn't share. He wanted to sell it based on his actual cash flow, which makes perfect sense. Except his tax returns didn't show his actual cash flow, right? He's like, well, I can't really show you that because a lot of it, in so many words, goes straight into his pocket because it's a cash-based business. And I was like, well, okay, but like I can only pay what you can prove.
Yeah, you have to do that. And that's a huge, we could, and maybe we should talk a little bit more about this concept of under the table and cash and that kind of thing. I think that's a good discussion.
All right, folks. Ever feel like you need an extra 8 hours in your day, to tackle that ever-growing inbox or plan events that seem to multiply like rabbits? Yeah, managing a business can feel like herding cats while juggling fire sticks. And let's talk about that work-life balance. It's like trying to walk a tightrope while juggling your laptop, phone, and a cup of overpriced coffee. Spoiler alert, the coffee always spills. But fear not, fellow entrepreneurs and charmed life seekers, we've got the magic wand for you, our sponsor, Squared Away. Imagine a team of super skilled, highly educated military spouses transforming into your executive assistants. It's like finding a genie in a bottle, but for your inbox and schedule. I'm all in on this concept, right? Military spouses, talk about drive and dedication. They're the unsung heroes of multitasking. Squared Away assistants are like your personal business wizards. They swoop in, manage the chaos, keep projects on track, and deal with those sneaky little tasks that eat away at your day. And they do it all while you focus on, being amazing. Plus, they're available across all U.S. time zones, working as W-2 employees, not contractors. Custom plans? You bet. They're tailoring superhero capes to fit your business perfectly. Are you ready to join the League of Extraordinary Entrepreneurs? Well, I highly recommend checking out Squared Away today. Unleash the power of efficiency at gosquaredaway.com/contact. That's gosquaredaway.com/contact. Here's to living that charmed life, folks, and our thanks to Squared Away for sponsoring this episode. All right. Now, ever feel like payroll and HR are those monsters under your entrepreneurial bed? You know, the ones that go boo every time you think about W-2s, 1099s, or health benefits? Well, it's time to turn on the light and chase those monsters away with our sponsor, Gusto. Imagine a world where payroll is as easy as ordering your favorite takeout, where health benefits and 401ks fit into your budget like a dream pair of shoes on sale. Gusto is like that fairy godmother for your small business, turning pumpkins into carriages, or in our case, HR nightmares into delightful, easy-to-use software. And the best part, it's all accessible online from your cozy home office or while sipping a margarita, even on the beach. And get this, unlimited payroll runs for one monthly price, no hidden fees, no surprises. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet, but for payroll. Gusto automatically handles all those tricky federal, state, and local payroll taxes. And if you've got a tough HR question, their certified experts are like your personal business Yodas. Don't just take my word for it. 3 out of 4 customers say they run payroll in 10 minutes or less. That's less time than it takes to make a cup of coffee these days. So, for all you entrepreneurs looking to live that charmed life, here's your magic spell. Business Brain listeners get 3 months free when you run your first payroll. Just visit gusto.com/businessbrain. That's gusto.com/businessbrain. Turn your payroll and HR into a fairy tale today. And our thanks to Gusto for sponsoring this episode. Yeah, so let's dig into that a little bit, Shannon.
Yeah, there's always this temptation. I like cash just as much as the next guy.
Yes.
But especially if you're starting out and if you're even in service business, to do things, either a couple different things. Do things under the table, or maybe you're getting paid off the books, or maybe you're paying folks as to be in their contractors when they really should be employees. And they're, if you looked at it, they really would.
They would qualify as employees. Yeah, exactly.
That's a dangerous thing because states and even the IRS are all over that.
Especially now.
Yeah, especially now. But it really hurts you in the long run because it holds you back in so many ways. And your example of the older guy that trying to sell the business here, yeah, he's probably led a great life, but because you didn't go, make it official, if you will, he couldn't sell it because half the revenue or whatever just went into his pocket. And yeah, that sounds great. And I'm living off the cash. I don't pay as much taxes. Well, not only it's illegal, but
exactly.
Let's just put that one on there. I hate following rules too, but
it is against the law.
It is against the law, and we don't recommend that obviously here. But it not only that, but if your employees find out about it, it makes you look terrible. And if you pay, like I did some consulting just recently with a company in New York, and just a great guy, in the jewelry business, and he had all these guys working on stuff and everything. And I was trying to help him figure it out. And I was like, this just doesn't add up. I can't make these numbers work that you're giving me. And I don't know how to help you grow if I can't understand where the money's coming in, where it's going out.
Yeah.
And it turns out he's paying, probably half of his technical staff or designers or whatever. They're getting paid under the table. And, not that he was, the revenue, most of it was coming in and being reported, but it was still some off the books. And I just said, listen, John, not his real name. I said, John, you're not going to be able to take this business to another level if you're operating in this manner.
Right.
Because your employees think less of you. He's
it keeps you small.
Yeah, it keeps you small.
It does. Yep.
And he's like, well, my employees love it. They get paid more and they don't pay taxes. I said, yeah, but not only it's eventually we'll catch up with them as well, right?
Yep.
You need to build.
Even though you're not reporting your employees' income, and there are laws that you are in violation of there, your employees then have the choice as to whether or not they report their income, but they are obligated by law to do that.
Yeah.
So even though you're not forcing their hand in this, they are choosing almost at your recommendation or by following your lead to also break the law, individually.
It's a bad framework.
It's just bad.
It
and
takes
look,
away,
I get it. Like when I've run cash-based business, or a business that has some cash element, right? And it's less and less these days, although a dumpster business, I can see where that, it's more of it there still. But, it's tempting to say, okay, well, let me take some of this and, just stash it in the drawer for a rainy day. If that some of this is, none of it is legal, right? But, if you're doing it with 2% of your revenue, 1% of your revenue, 0.5% of your revenue. First of all, the IRS probably won't care, but don't take that advice from me.
Yes, do not.
And also it's not going to significantly affect your books in a way that you can't show where the money comes from to an investor, a bank from whom you want a loan, right? Or a buyer.
There's plenty of other ways to live.
There's other ways to live the charmed life,
and
right?
we've discussed it for 9 years. And it's kind of short, or not kind of, it's short-sighted.
Yes.
And it
even with my music business, right?
Yeah.
I play the drums. People pay me in cash most of the time. As much as I can remember, and that's not me being coy and cute, that's me being literal. I go back through my calendar and I report 100% of that income. Why? Because I almost always, at least, 3 out of every 5 years, I wind up spending more on my music habit than I make. Yeah. And so it all comes out in the wash. Yeah.
That's right. It makes you look shady, and your employees pick up on it, and they don't trust you. And if you have a dispute and somebody gets upset, boy,
forget it, man.
You can be in just so much trouble. So don't do it. Just don't do it. And bring it in, through your regular channels so you can show that income, and then focus on, okay, what write-offs do we get, and how do we, bring in that revenue, but then lower either your personal, adjusted
tax
gross
burden.
income,
Yep.
or, okay, we need to go buy some more vehicles, and we've got this, and work with your accountant, your financial planner, to be prepared to take advantage of all the thousands of tax advantages of owning a business and owning real estate that are you can bring into your life. You don't need to keep cash. I think it's and look at the difference between like this old guy that approached you and then a young guy like Bodie who's building this business.
Yep.
And it's doing well enough to where, okay, now I'm going to hire another driver. I've got 2 drivers. Now I'm home and on board. Maybe, let's start another business. And, that's what it should happen. It should flywheel off.
That's what you want, is that flywheel.
Yeah.
And if my flywheel is so dependent on people coming to me with ideas and doing things, like I'm the king of business partnerships, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think most of those people would not come to me if I had a reputation as being somebody that broke the tax law.
Yes.
Like
you got it.
Someone that understands the tax law, has learned how to benefit from the law that exists. Like, those things are great. Someone who breaks the law, at best, that's going to attract a different type of partner that I don't want. No, I don't.
Yeah. So this is a tough topic for Casual Friday, but just
I think it's perfect for Casual Friday.
There's so many other business or benefits that you can focus on. Don't worry about doing things under the table, off the books, two separate, books. All that. It's just a recipe for disaster.
Like, you might, especially if it's a hobby that's turning into a business, there might be a period of gray area that winds up in retrospect having been off the books. Fine, whatever, But like taking my, playing the drums, were there times where I got paid and just didn't report any income or expenses? Of course.
Yes.
But once I started treating it seriously, it was like, it's actually better if I just do this all above board, because now I get the benefits of tracking all of this the way that I'm, and reporting it all the way I'm reporting it. Yeah.
So I'd love to hear your feedback on it. Feedback at businessbrain.show. Tell us, share your stories, what works, what doesn't. Come up and tell us what you thought of the interview with Bodie from I Rent Dumpsters on the X platform. And if you think there's somebody we should talk to on the show, give us
Yeah,
a
let
holler.
us know. Yep, feedback at businessbrain.show. Make sure to check out our sponsors, of course, GoSquaredAway.com/contact and Gusto.com/businessbrain. You can always get the links for them and everything else we talk about at businessbrain.show. Keep living that charmed life. We'll see you next week. I don't know if you saw my note about plosives, but we need to find how, like the logistics of your setup so that we're not getting
I was
plosives
wondering
from
if
you.
I could move it down a bit. Why don't we let's end the live stream and then
Yeah, that's fine.
play around
Yeah,
with
go
it.
ahead.
See you folks.
Yeah.